Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. We're reading from Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya-lila, chapter 16, entitled The Lord's Attempt to Go to Vrindavan, texts 209 to 217. Satadinarahi tataloka nistarila sava aparadigane prakaritarila. The Lord stayed there for 7 days and delivered all kinds of offenders and sinners. Text 210. After leaving Kuliyā, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visited the house of Advaitacharya at Śāntipura. It was there that the Lord's mother, Shachimata, met him and was thus relieved of her great unhappiness. Text 211. The Lord then visited the village known as Ramakeli and the place known as Kanai Natashala. From there he returned to Śāntipura. Text 212. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stayed in Śāntipura for 10 days. This has all been described very elaborately by Vrindavan Das Thakur. Text 213. I will not narrate these incidents because they have already been described by Vrindavan Das Thakur. There is no need to repeat the same information, for such repetition would unlimitedly increase the size of this book. Texts 214 and 215. Those narrations tell how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met the brothers Rupa and Sanatana and how Nrsimhananda decorated the road. I have already described these in an earlier synopsis of this book. Therefore, I will not repeat the narrations here. Purport. This information is given in Adi-lila 10:35 and Madhya-lila 155 to 162 and 175 to 226. Text 216. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu returned to Śāntipura, Raghunātha Das came to meet him. Text 217. Please repeat. Hiranya Govardhana Dui Sahodara Saptagrame Baralaksha Mudrara Ishvara Hiranya Govardhana Dui Sahodara, 2 brothers. Saptagrame, in the village named Saptagrama. Baralaksha, 1,200,000. Mudrara, of coins. Ishvara, the masters. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki. 2 brothers named Hiranya and Govardhana, who were residents of Saptagram, had an annual income of 1,200,000 rupees. Hiranya and Govardhana were inhabitants of Saptagrama in the district of Hooghly. Actually, they were inhabitants not of Saptagram, but of a nearby village named Krishnapur. They took their birth in a big Kayastha family, and although their family title has not been ascertained, it is known that they came from an aristocratic family. The elder brother's name was Hiranya Majumdar, and the younger brother's name was Govardhan Majumdar. Shri Raghunātha Das was the son of Govardhan Majumdar. Their family priest was Balaram Acharya, who was a favorite of Haridas Thakur's, and the family spiritual master was Yadunandan Acharya, a favorite of Vasudeva Datta's. The village of Saptagram is located on the Eastern Railway from Calcutta to Burdwan, and presently the railway station is called Trishabiga. In those days there was a large river there known as the Saraswati, and present-day Trishabiga is a great port. In 1592 the Pathanas invaded, and due to the flooding of the Saraswati river in the year 1632, this great port was partially destroyed. It is said that in the 17th and 18th centuries, Portuguese businessmen used to come aboard their ships. In those days, Saptagram, situated on the southern side of Bengal, was very rich and popular. The merchants who were the principal residents were called Saptagrama Suvarnavaniks. There were very many rich people there, and Hiranya Manjumadar and Govardhan Manjumadar belonged to the Kayastha community. They also were very rich, so much so that it is mentioned in this verse that their annual income as landlords amounted to 1,200,000 rupees. In this connection, one may refer to Adi-lila, chapter 11, verse 41, which describes Uttaranadatta, who also belonged to the Saptagrami Suvarnavanik community. The translation of the verse again. Two brothers named Hiranya and Govardhana, who were residents of Saptagrama, had an annual income of 1,200,000 rupees. Hare Krishna. So we continue our discussion how Lord Caitanya tried to go to Vrindavan through Bengal, and he stayed there for quite a long time. It is said here in the text 209 that he stayed just in the house of Madhava Das for 7 days. Yes, we can remember yesterday we have discussed how many thousands of people gathered there. Yes, they were coming from all sides to see the Lord. And here we'll try to go from verse to verse to see what is the procedure of Lord's pastimes. And in this first verse, 209, it is said that the Lord delivered all kinds of offenders and sinners. And this is very significant because the Lord actually took sannyas to deliver the sinners and offenders. Once the Lord was in the mood of the gopis left by Krishna, and he was calling out, "Oh, Gopi, Gopi, Gopi," in deep affection and compassion to Srimati Radharani. And there came one Brahmana boy, and he instructed the Lord, "Why you are calling out Gopi, Gopi, Gopi? One should, all Shastra claims that we should chant the name of Krishna. So instead of Gopi, Gopi, you should chant Krishna, Krishna." And Lord, who was in the mood of the gopis, left by Krishna, he became furious. Yes, he took a stick and started to chase this Brahmana boy. Yes, your idea is to glorify this debauchee. Yes, so he wanted to beat the boy, and the boy, in great fear, ran away to other Brahmana boys, and he told what happened there. And these Brahmana boys were extremely angry, actually. What does this Nimai Pandit think he is? They said, if next time he'll try to beat someone of us, we'll retaliate. And then, because the Lord is the super soul in everyone's heart, he understood what is their mentality, and they were thinking that they can teach the Lord, that they are superior actually to him, or at least equal, and that the Lord shouldn't be allowed to do whatever he wants. So the Lord was thinking, I appeared in this world to deliver all living entities, but instead everyone will go to hell because they don't show me proper respect. They commit offenses. So instead of delivering them, I'm the cause of their destruction. So I should do something for the benefit. And then he considered, what should I do? And then he realized it's the best that I take sannyas. In this way, even the atheists, at that time there was still a culture, that even atheists bowed down to sannyasis. Of course, here in the West, no one bows down to anyone, even to sannyasis. But still, there was some reminder of Vedic culture at that time. So he took sannyas and he left his widowed mother and very young wife just to deliver all of us, actually. Not just these people in Navadvip, but to deliver every one of us. So this is very important teaching for any of us. The Lord Krishna in 10th canto, he says, Etavar janma safalyam dekhinam iha dekhishu pranar artha diyavarcha shreya acharnam sada. Jai Shri Radha Gokulananda ki, Jai Shri Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ki, Jai Shri Gaur Nitai ki, Jai Nitai Gaur Pramanandi. Yes, Etavar janma safalyam dekhinam iha dekhishu pranar artha diyavarcha shreya acharnam sada. Lord Krishna explains to his cowherd boyfriends that one should give his life for the benefit of others. Pranar artha dyavacha. By his life, by his wealth, by his intelligence, and by his wealth, one should do good for others. One should live for the benefit of others. Yes. And he gave, for example, the trees in Vrindavan, how beneficial they are for all living entities. Yes. And we gave this example yesterday, how everyone is satisfied by taking shelter of trees. Yes, we get the shade in the hot summer, they stand in the summer. In India, of course, it's extremely hot. But they don't complain, but give shade to everyone. And they give fruits to everyone. If you are cold, we get wood from them. They sacrifice their life for us to be warm. So yes, and Lord Krishna gives example that although the trees are considered to be of very low birth, as in Tamagun, but if even Brahmanas, if they don't live for the benefit of others, they're lower than trees. Yes. In the very next pastime, he gives this teaching. He sent his cowherd boyfriends to these yogic Brahmanas, begging them for food. And although there was no restriction for them to give the food. The cowherd boys, they knew the technicalities of the yagya. They instructed the brahmanas. It's, in this particular yagya, there is no restriction of giving food. So you should go give some food to Balaram. They mentioned first Balaram because Balaram was from Kshatriya family. And Krishna also. Krishna was Vaishya, therefore they first mentioned Balaram. But they were completely ignored. They were completely ignored. Yes. So the trees which live for the benefit of others are better than brahmanas who don't live for the benefit of others. So therefore, Lord Caitanya, who came to show by his example how to achieve perfection of life, showed that one should sacrifice everything for the benefit of others. Yes, he should sacrifice his life, his family, his prestige, his money, everything. Why should we live, actually, if we don't live for the benefit of others? Because we know, Mameva Ansho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhutak Sanatana. Every living entity is a part and parcel of Krishna. So if we live for our material survival, what we have achieved? Nothing, actually. We die, like an insect or a dog. They also die. And they also protect their family. Yes. They also protect their territory. They also protect their food from other dogs. Yes. So, if we live just for material survival, we go to work for our children to have some food and a roof above our head, we miss the point of our life. And we have also missed the point of life of our dependence. Yes. If we are not able to teach our children to be Krishna conscious, then we are no better than animals. They also don't put stress on teaching their offsprings to become Krishna conscious. Yes. And if we don't make our life mission for our children to be Krishna conscious, we are no better than animals. Yes. In what way we are better than animals? No, there is no difference. No. So yes, even if we die of starvation, but all our family is Krishna conscious, we haven't lost anything. Because we will lose our material life anyway, sooner or later, today or tomorrow. But if we don't become Krishna conscious, ourselves and our children, we have lost everything. So of course, we shouldn't try this system to starve our family members. Of course not. Our duty is to provide everything, but we should understand that most important is our consciousness. Our life depends on our consciousness. Our dependents depend also on our consciousness. If our consciousness is not fixed in Krishna, everyone will perish. Yes. Then our protection is just illusion. No one protects anyone if he is not able to guide his dependence to Krishna. So everyone has his dependence, even if we are brahmacharis in the temple, or we are grihastas, or we are vanaprasthas, or anything materially. Everyone has his dependence. So one should sacrifice his life for everyone in this world, actually. And this is possible only if we become Krishna conscious. Yes, with our words, with our life, with our intelligence, with our wealth, with our existence. Yes. And then the Lord excused different offenders. Yes. At that time, these offenders who didn't recognize the Lord in his previous pastimes now came to the Lord to beg forgiveness. And one famous example who begged the Lord at that time was Gopal Chapal. Gopal Chapal was also a Brahmana, and he was extremely envious. And because he was not allowed to enter the house of Srivas Thakur when the devotees held these confidential kirtans, he was extremely upset and envious, and he wanted to take revenge in some way. And he put all these paraphernalia for Kali worship on the doorstep of Srivas Thakur. Yes, wine and meat and these disgusting things. And Srivas Thakur, the next morning, when he saw this paraphernalia on his doorstep, he didn't try to hide it from others, but he went to all the neighbors and said, "Just see what kind of a person I am. Just see, I'm secretly worshipping Kali. Now the truth about me is revealed." But no one believed him. So they called this Bangi to clean the place and to put some smeared it with cow dung to decontaminate it. Yes, and this is another instruction actually, and we have discussed it yesterday also, how we shouldn't try to protect our material existence. If we try to protect our material existence and to show everyone that we are a very nice person, then actually we lose our connection with the Lord, because our focus is ourselves. Understand? Yes, we put our existence, our well-being, our material well-being in the center, because now the Lord knows the truth, the reality. So why we should fight or strive for material existence, for our honor? Yes, because if we lose our honor, of course we lose our place in society, isn't it? Therefore everyone is very careful that his name wouldn't be blemished, isn't it? Yes, this is actually struggle for survival, because if we lose our place in society, we are as good as dead. Therefore everyone is defending himself very rigorously. Yes. But therefore, Trinadapi Sunichana Taroriva Sahishnana Amanina Manadina Kirtina Sadahari. We shouldn't expect any respect. Immediately when we expect respect and we fight for respect, our spiritual life is lost actually. Or it's very weak, our spiritual life. Yes, therefore we should understand. We should try to not defend ourselves in any situation. Just accept even humiliation if needed. Public humiliation. Yes. If you are able to withstand this, then we can make extremely fast spiritual advancement. Yes, because we connect very deeply with the Lord. in our heart, then our Lord becomes our only shelter. Because there is no other shelter possible if we lose our social status. Is it? Yes. There is no other shelter, because if we have social status, then we can take shelter of our friends, or at least of our reputation. Yes, we feel security in others' recognition, but immediately when we are blasphemed, we try to fight. Yes. But of course, if we are not able to take this infamy with grateful heart, but we become depressed and start to lament over our destiny, then maybe it's better to even to fight back. Otherwise, we can become mentally deranged even. Yes. Instead of make spiritual advancement, we destroy ourselves, and of course make great offenses in our heart. If you are not able to take this humiliation with gratitude, with great gratitude. Yes. Therefore, this is the art of spiritual advancement. Be humble. Be ready to accept even humiliation. For spiritual community, and of course here is quite big spiritual community, and for any community whatsoever, even for the family, it is absolutely necessary to follow Vaishnava etiquette. If you don't follow etiquette, there is no possibility of having any good relationships. Yes. We can see, especially in the age of Kali, there is quarrel on every corner. Everyone is fighting. Yes. Everyone else, because everyone thinks that my position is better than yours. My idea is better than your idea. So, if we don't follow Vaishnava etiquette in all our dealings, in all our relationships, it's not possible to create any community, actually. Therefore, it is necessary. And to be able to follow Vaishnava etiquette, we have to be humble. It's not possible to follow etiquette and be proud. Yes. Otherwise, even if we follow externally, we'll blaspheme those who are superior to us. Yes, we'll commit offenses, we'll criticize them. Yes, and will not be satisfied with this situation. But devotees should be satisfied with any situation. We should see everything as perfect. Yes, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Swami said that if we see any imperfection, it's actually the sign of our imperfection. Because everything emanates from the Lord. Yes. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudarshati Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamayava Vashishati. The Lord is perfect, and whatever is coming from Him is also perfect and complete. Yes, so every situation is also perfect. So we should develop this vision, and we just follow the instructions of our spiritual masters. Yes. Therefore, and Gopal Chapal, because of this offense to Srivas Thakur, he attracted leprosy and he suffered terribly because of this offense. And he was ostracized, of course. No one wants to live in the association of a leper. So he lived in somewhere in the outskirts of Navadvip. And once he came to the Lord, when the Lord came to Bengal, back from Jagannath Puri, he came to the Lord and begged him for mercy. Yes, he said, oh my Lord, please help me. I'm suffering terribly because of this leprosy. Please take pity on me. You are known as the most merciful Lord. Please help me. And Lord Caitanya said, you sinful rascal. You think you're suffering now? Just wait for Kumbhipaka hell. And you will see what is suffering. What is suffering there. So you will suffer life after life because of your offenses. Yes. And he said, go away, you sinful wretch. I don't want to see your face. And then he went away. Yes. And Gopal Chapal was extremely, he suffered very much, extremely, and he was extremely sad that the Lord didn't took pity on him. And so some days later he again approached the Lord with this prayerful mood. Please, Lord, excuse all of my offenses. Please help me. Who can I turn to except you? And then Lord Caitanya explained to him that you suffer because of your offense to Srivas Thakur. Only if you go to him and beg forgiveness from him, and if he forgives you, you can be excused. And of course he went to Srivas Thakur and begged him for forgiveness. And this is another instruction for everyone. We shouldn't offend anyone. And once I've heard, if we don't see reactions of our offenses quickly, that means that the Lord is not very much satisfied with us. Yes, we think, yes, we were right in offending others. Or I taught him a lesson. And it's very good. I'm his benefactor. I should teach him that this world is the world of suffering. Sometimes people think like this. Hare Krishna. Yes, if we don't suffer reaction very quickly, actually the Lord is very much displeased, because we will we will continue to commit offenses with such a mentality, and then we'll suffer more and more and more. Therefore, it's necessary, if we see that we have committed any offense or disrespected anyone, that we go to this particular person and beg forgiveness from all our heart. We should understand this. This is our only hope, actually. We shouldn't be proud and think, he should apologize me, because I also feel offended. Maybe we have offended each other. This is usual scenario. If you offend someone, usually we get also offended. And then pride thwart us that we don't go to the other person and beg forgiveness from them. Yes. Therefore, we should be humble, and we should know that we should take responsibility for being an offender and beg forgiveness. And of course, in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in his commentary explains how a devotee who is chanting the holy name and doesn't feel this connection with the Lord thinks, I'm such an offender that the Lord doesn't want to reveal himself to me. But still, as Narottam Das Thakur prays in Prema Bhakti Chandrika, even if I'm an offender, the Lord is my only shelter. I don't take shelter of anything else but the Lord. Yes. So, yes, beware of offense. Beware of offense. When Lord Caitanya delivered Jagai and Madai, who are the greatest sinners possible, they drove these scribes of Yamaraj to the edge of nervous breakdown because they couldn't keep records so fast. Yes. They were excused by the Lord. And then he ordered for Kirtan to start. And the Kirtan started, or actually before Kirtan, he excused Jagai and Madai, and then his golden body became completely black. And he asked Advaitacharya, what do I look like? And Advaitacharya said, you look like just Shema Sundar. Black like Shema Sundar. And Lord Caitanya said that those sins of Jagai and Madai will go to these persons who blaspheme Vaishnavas, who criticize Vaishnavas. So beware of offending any Vaishnava. Yes. Rather to be humiliated, rather to be trampled upon, but don't offend Vaishnavas. Don't offend Vaishnavas. Yes. Krishna will be pleased if we even take offenses gladly and gratefully, if we don't offend Vaishnavas, if we don't retaliate. Yes. Be humble. This is the key. This verse, Trinadapi Sunichna Tarurivasa Vishna Amanina Manatina Kirtanya Sudahari, is the key to the door of spiritual world, of spiritual life. So, if we don't acquire the key, it's not possible to open the door. We can do whatever we want. We can chant unlimited rounds. We can know whole verses of Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita and Bhagavad Gita together by heart. But it's not possible to enter the spiritual realm if we try to defend ourselves, if we are displeased with the situation I'm living in. Yes. Dissatisfaction is the sign that we are not satisfied with Krishna. If we are not satisfied with our circumstance of life, it's actually a sign that I don't like Krishna's arrangement. That doesn't mean that we just sit down and do nothing, but still, from the material point of view, there will be misery, even if we strive so much for material benefit. There will still be misery. Yes, this is explained by Prahlad Maharaj in 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Sukaya dukkha mokshaya sankalpaiha karmina sadapnoti khaya dukkham anikhaya suktavrita. That it's very interesting. Sukaya dukkha mokshaya sankalpaiha karmina. Those who are karmis, who are materialists, their sankalpa or firm conviction is Sukhaya Dukkha Mokshaya, that I will achieve happiness, Sukha, and I will finish my miseries, Dukkha Mokshaya. I will be freed from all these miseries. But what's the consequence? Sadapnoti khaya dukkham. They get misery all the time. They're always miserable. But those who don't strive for material happiness, whose only business is to satisfy Krishna, anikha sukhavrita, they're enveloped, covered with happiness. Even everything goes wrong, they're still happy. Yes. Yes, because they are connected with Krishna. And Krishna is the only pleasure. Krishna is the only happiness. There is no other pleasure and happiness in this world. If we think that this particular arrangement can make me happy, you're illusioned. No arrangement will make you happy. The only arrangement that can make you happy is Krishna consciousness. Yes. Otherwise you will always be dissatisfied. Therefore Krishna, time and again in Bhagavad Gita, he stresses this. Be satisfied. Be satisfied. Yes. Santushtah satatam yogi. My devotee is always pleased, is satisfied, always satisfied, in any circumstance. Yes. Santushto yena kinachit. Anything can come, but my devotee is satisfied. Manah prasadak saumetvam, maunamatman vinigrah. Bhavasram shrudhitetat, tapo manas mochete. The first sign of mind control, of tapasya of the mind, of this austerity of the mind, is satisfaction. It's austerity because it's not easy to be satisfied. But how can we be happy if we are not satisfied? Have you met anyone who was dissatisfied and happy at the same time? No. So if we keep our dissatisfaction because of this or that, we can always be dissatisfied. We always find something for our dissatisfaction, isn't it? Yes. Because in material world, everything goes wrong all the time. Something is going wrong. Nothing can be perfect at any time. Yes. We suffer. This is material position, is suffering. We suffer every day. We are so accustomed to suffering that we don't even notice. Yes. For example, the first thing in the morning, what do? You go to the bathroom, usually. And if you wouldn't, you will suffer terribly. Yes. Therefore, this is a sign. From the very first thing in the morning, we suffer. And then if we don't eat, we suffer again. So we suffer all the time, actually. And so plenty of room for dissatisfaction, isn't it? Yes. And our wife is not behaving as I want, or my husband is not behaving as I want. And we are dissatisfied. Our parents are not behaving as we want, and our children, they don't behave as we want. No one behaves as we want. Therefore, there is fight on all levels of existence. Between husband and wife, between children and parents, between friends. Yes, because of this dissatisfaction. But we should learn satisfaction. Yes. Otherwise, where's the question of spiritual life if we are dissatisfied? Because this dissatisfaction is because of material inconveniences and nothing more. Therefore, we should learn to connect with Krishna on a deep level. And only if you are deeply connected with Krishna, it's possible to actually become humble and to be actually satisfied with our life. So the most important is to establish this connection. Otherwise, this is only nice philosophy that entertains me in bad circumstances. Otherwise, I would even not listen to philosophy if I have no connection. Yes, I will not take it seriously. Therefore, this connection is possible only if we chant the holy name with deep attention, with deep prayerful mood. Krishna, please accept me. O Srimati Radharani, please accept me. Please accept me. I have no refuge other than you. Please help me to connect with you. I'm unable to connect with you. It's not possible, and it's true, it's not possible for us. Devi hiesha gunami mama maya duratya mam eva ye prapadante maya metam tarantiti. It's not possible for us. Maya is duratya. It's not possible to overcome. Therefore, only those who take shelter of Krishna, they can go beyond it. So, only with this humble, prayerful mood, oh Krishna, please help me. I am helpless. My mind goes to unlimited different places when I try to chant your holy name. But still, I want to give up all these different desires and be connected only to you, my Lord. So, if I seek pleasure in this material world, if I seek fun in this material world, it's very difficult to connect with the Lord in this prayerful mood. Practically impossible. So, yes, this trying to enjoy this material world is actually detrimental for our spiritual life. Yes. So seek pleasure and fun in spiritual life. Yes. Maybe it's very difficult because we don't have taste. Maybe someone of us doesn't have taste for spiritual life, and therefore he's accustomed to seek pleasure in material world, in material enjoyments. Yes, in going to some entertainment parks or something like this to entertain myself. Yeah. But this is just great waste of time, and not just waste of time. It pollutes our mind very much, because our mind then we can judge it when we chant, because our mind goes to these impressions by itself. Yes, to these impressions of fun, of material fun, when we chant. And that means that we have polluted our mind very much. So we should try to learn to find happiness on the spiritual platform. And then these impressions will be beneficial during my chanting. Yes. Therefore, it's very beneficial to engage in service. Only if we engage in service from our heart, it's possible then that during our chanting we can connect deeply. But our service shouldn't be just because of duty, and we perform it grudgingly, and I have to do this. Why someone else doesn't do it? Everyone wants to take advantage of me. If we have this mentality, then our service will help us very little. But if we have mentality, I'm the servant of Radha Gokulananda in their pleasure pastimes, really we can keep this consciousness in every task we perform. Even if we go out to work or anything, if we wash the floor, or if we, I don't know, whatever you can imagine, we can have this consciousness. I do it for the pleasure of the Lord. I do it for the pleasure of Radha Gokulananda. Even if I go to the toilet, actually, I can still have this idea that I keep this body fit for the pleasure of, and to be fit for the service of Radha Gokulananda. Yes. And if I keep this mentality, I'm always connected. And even after death, I just continue my service. Yes. Then I always live in spiritual world, now. And we should know that there is no spiritual world in the future. Spiritual world can always be only now. Yes. Tomorrow never comes. Yes. So if you want to go to the spiritual world after death, you should live in spiritual world now. Otherwise there is no question of spiritual world. You should live in spiritual world now and connect deeply with the Lord. There is much to say. We haven't finished the first verse of this collection of verses, but we don't have time to proceed. So, yes, be very careful not to commit offenses, not to be dissatisfied in your life. This is very important. We are accustomed to be dissatisfied. Don't be. Be always satisfied, and your life will be perfect. And meditate that I am just a servant, a menial servant of Radha Gokulananda in whatever I do. And I will always live in spiritual world. Hare Krishna. Is there any question or comment or doubt? Yes, please. Yes.
He's got a nice, he says, whatever you do and whatever happens, they're always right. They're always right. And the other one is in Christmas Carol.
Yes.
It's a really nice example of a person who has had let's put it, he was a miser. But when he found out what it was like to give, he was singing and dancing. And that's a sort of nice, it's a nice story or writing. So they're just examples of when people give, they find out a light in their life. And another example, back to the Yang Goswami said, there was this man who was always miserable and dissatisfied. And the people of the village avoided him like anything, you know. And then one day he had the realization that, what should I do? And then he says, I should stop trying to be happy.
Yes, this is exactly the instruction of Prahlad Maharaj. We should stop to try be happy. Yes, thank you very much. Yeah. Hare Krishna. This Mataji, can anyone pass the microphone, please?
Krishna Prabhuji, very beautiful class. I've taken lots of takeaways. I was just wondering, this sometimes there's an energy mismatch.
Yes.
What can be done for that? You feel there's a certain sort of energy that you can put, and then the sort of energy that you are given the duty of, or made the in charge of, or is it that it's a false energy that we feel because of excess self-worth?
Yes.
What is the right thing, if I may sense?
Yes. Actually, I saw a sign, I don't know, it's in my son's place or where. Don't search for your soulmate, search for your soulmate. I will explain. That there will be always mismatch of energies in material world. There is no such thing as matching of energies if there is false ego involved. Therefore, I mentioned that it is necessary to follow etiquette. If there is no following of etiquette, there is no question of harmony possible. Yes, because everyone wants to prove they're right. Everyone wants to prove that I know better. Therefore, it's completely necessary to follow the etiquette in all our dealings in life. Then we can live peacefully. But nowadays it's not popular to live according to etiquette. Actually, rarely we see, even in devotee communities, therefore there are so many fights there. Yes, there can be mismatch. But if one is spiritually advanced, or try to become spiritually advanced, he should understand Krishna has put me in this particular situation just to teach me something, for my benefit, that I can spiritually advance. And if I want to change other person because I think his energy should change, my energy is perfect, but his energy is not, then I don't understand the spiritual basics. The spiritual basics is that I'm conditioned soul, and I want to protect my material life because of my conditionings. But Krishna has put me in this certain position just for me to be able to spiritually advance, to make some quick advancement. And if I take it with grateful heart, then the door for spiritual advancement opens wide. But if I want to prove this another person that yes, our situation is not good, it's you should either change or I will kick you, then this is not the sign of spiritual understanding, very deep. Yes. So, of course, if you are abused, we shouldn't allow others to abuse us. But then we should withdraw from such environment, abusive environment. But because of some misunderstanding, we should follow the etiquette. Yes, we should follow the etiquette, and then everything will be perfect. Yes, Hare Krishna. Yes, please.
Hare Krishna. I would like to ask, please, if you could maybe more clarify. I don't understand this point there. Dissatisfaction in spiritual life. So one could think that this may be used as a means of navigation to find your service, and there are cases that a devotee was not so satisfied, so he had to move or change service, and then he became more happy, more rightly established in this way. But you saying the point that Krishna is choosing a service to teach us a lesson, so how to see
Yes. Of course, we should serve in two different manners, in two different ways. Also gopis in Vrindavan, they serve in two different ways. They have one particular service that they do for Krishna, that is assigned for them, and the other service is do the needful. These two type of services are there. So we should always and also have these two type of services. One service that is our service, particular service, and this of course should be according to our nature, that brings great satisfaction to us and to Krishna. And therefore Prabhupada is writing in his books many times how it's the duty of a spiritual master to engage his disciple according to disciple's nature. Yes, spiritual master should be expert enough to recognize the nature of his disciple and engage him accordingly. Yes, and we can see what is our nature and what kind of contribution we can give to Krishna and to the Vaishnava community, and we should do it very happily. And I believe in any sane community you will be supported for this particular service. But then of course there are also other services that need to be done, and you shouldn't avoid them also. But although your nature is something else, and they try to force you to not to do this particular service and to do something else, that means crazy society. So it's better than I go away from such society. I shouldn't criticize. If I do criticize, I destroy also my own spiritual life. But I shouldn't remain in crazy environment. Of course, I can try to show my best, to my abilities, to show that I'm good in this particular service, that I enjoy this service, that I can give my life for this service. But if no one recognizes this for a longer period of time, you can go somewhere else. Hare Krishna. Anything else?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
For this amazing class. I have a question on this. So we are already dissatisfied with the material world, so we are here with spiritual service. So most of our association is with devotees, and in some scenario, some arguments may happen, some misunderstanding may happen, and we know that we are not on the wrong side, and we feel offended.
Yes.
And then we can either fight or we can walk away. So let's say we're not able to accept the Lord's mercy, at that level, but we walk away from the situation. But then within the heart, we are waiting for that other devotee to contract liberty, like how do we deal with that?
Yes. We should recognize our envy, because this is only envy actually. And it's not only envy to this particular devotee, it's only envy to the Lord. Because Lord make arrangement, Maya Dekshina Prakriti Suite Satracharam, Hitunanana Kaunteya Jagat Viparivartate. Lord Krishna explains in 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, everything is happening under my arrangement. Why do you think that this particular scene was not arranged by the Lord? Yes. And this entitles me to be offensive, because this was not orchestrated by the Lord. Yes, we should train our consciousness, because our consciousness is trained to fight on material level. This is our conditioning to protect our life, because if we don't protect our honor, if we don't protect our ideas, then our life is lost on material level. And therefore, spiritual life means training of consciousness. It's like a military drill. Again and again, I train my consciousness, I drill my consciousness to be humble. If I'm in a position to make decisions, then I should make decisions and to take all responsibility. But if I'm not in this position, if I'm having an argument, that means that I'm not the Lord. I'm not the master. Master means everyone listens, and I'm commanding, isn't it? So if people are not listening, that means I'm not the Lord, isn't it? So I should take this position. I'm not the Lord, I'm a servant. And servant is not entitled to command the Lord. Therefore we call others Prabhu. That means my Lord. How can I serve you? So if I'm not entitled to give decision, I should not fight for it. And I should not be envious of this particular devotee and of Krishna. I should take it as Krishna's arrangement, as Krishna's mercy on me. That Krishna is more merciful to me than to this particular devotee, because he trains me how to become humble, and he didn't train this devotee. Yes, therefore this devotee should be helped. Yes, it should be given all my compassion. But it's not possible to have this consciousness if we don't connect deeply through our chanting in the morning, in early mornings. Therefore, this chanting is crucial for our spiritual life. That we don't do anything during our chanting. Just chant. Not be distracted with anything or with anyone. Just chant. So get up early enough in the morning that you will not be distracted by anything. Put away your phones. Put away your everything. Don't talk to anyone. Just chant. Just chant with this prayerful mood. And only in this way we can connect. Otherwise, not possible. Not possible. Not possible to start to train our consciousness in this way. Yes. Only if we are trained through our chanting and reading, then it's possible. Otherwise, it's just a theory. Hare Krishna. So, thank you very much for your attention. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hare Krishna.